Hey there, honey bunnies. Welcome to episode 122. Don't ask the divine for rescue. Ask to be shown the way. Or something like that. So, I think a lot about how law of attraction and religion and manifest XYZ in 5 or 7 or 9 days really, at the heart of it, keeps us in this parent-child dynamic. I don't know why I think about that a lot. I just do. So I used to go to Unity Church a lot, and I would still go if there was one that was a reasonable distance. I really do like that system. And there was a good one in Fort Collins, and I went a lot when my daughter was little in the early 90s. And what I really appreciated about the pastor there, the preacher, is his the practical nature of his stuff. You know, he really talked a lot about how when you set a goal, it feels like the gates of hell rise up against you. And I've talked about this a lot, that when you start meditating, it feels like your life is suddenly in the shitter. And so it's easy to say, everything was fine until I started meditating. Everything was fine until I set this goal and started on this goal. Everything was fine until I started one commanding. I always caution people, be careful of the word you pick. Everybody's picking their word for the year because it sounds like a great idea. But underneath that, you're making a decision to embody a word that you're not embodying right now, which means every damn thing that's the reason why you don't embody it already is going to what? Come to your awareness. You've asked. Knock, knock, knock. Oh, God, I'd like to fix this thing. I'd like to be this thing. And the universe is like, okay, well, that's great. You want to expand and grow? Cool. But you have to get all this stuff out of the way. You have to pull the logs out of your river, which is dirty, messy business. And it hurts. And you're going to get some splinters. And you're going to find some splinters. It's not pleasant. That does not sell well. It doesn't sell well to talk about the reality, the practicality, the predictable, non-magical, so predictable it's boring process of expansion. It doesn't sell very well. That's fine. We're human, but we need to understand that part. So when you pick a word like boundaries, or you pick a word like radiance, or you pick a word like abundant, get ready. The first half of the year might be pretty rough. So a lot of those systems have us asking for something, asking for it, not claiming it, not declaring it, not saying as one adult to another, but as a subordinate to a higher up, or as a child to a parent figure, and we never get it because it's not the way it works. I don't think we're equal to God. I don't say I'm God. I don't say that. I don't believe that. I think I'm a aspect of God. That's different than being God. I'm using the word God if you don't like it. I totally understand. There was a long time in my life that I didn't like it either. So, divine beloved is what I write in my journal, and use whatever term feels best to you. So when we start to snap out of childhood, asking, it requires you to be even more personally responsible, to really think about it before you pray about it. That saying, be careful what you pray for, is no joke. That's a cliche because it's true. Be careful. Assess your resources. Do you have the wherewithal to jump into a word for the year like abundance if money is something you really, really struggle with? Do you have the internal time and capacity to give to choosing a word like love, if love is something you struggle with? Because it will demand a lot from you because you have opened that door. And you should open those doors. But think about it first. Contemplate it. Am I ready for this one, or do I need to do like? Can like be my word of the year instead of love? Because I don't know if I have the internal resources to handle what's going to come at me if I pick the word love. Okay? That's thinking like a grown-up. Like a person who's objectively obsessing and not living in a fantasy of, well, if I claim the word love, then by the end of the year, I can check my love box and I'll be all set to go. No. The year I picked boundaries, I knew what I was getting into. It was a little harder than I thought it was going to be, as it usually is, because when you pick the word or you set the goal, you are asking for your blind spots to be exposed. So you can anticipate, all right, there's going to be some bumps, but you might not realize that the kind of bumps or where they're going to come from or how big they're going to be. You might go over a speed bump and catch air in your car. Like it might be really big because you don't know. So you ask for your blind spots to be shown to you. And that's the part that doesn't feel very good. It doesn't. Why would it? It's a blind spot. It's a shadow bit. It's things that have to come forward so you can have what you want. But you're coming at it as in a grown-up energy, in an assessment of your abilities and capacities, and you're going to commit to certain things like a daily practice of time and space and journaling or whatever to support what's going to come at you when you pick your word. So many of us are picking goals and words with an energy of somebody save me, rescue me from what I've inherited, rescue me from the decisions I've made. Somebody, Santa, Santa baby, save me from all my fuck ups, please sir. It doesn't work. We can't ask from somebody save me energy. If I just sit here and write 100 affirmations, wow, did I sound like I just stepped out of the woods of Mississippi? Affirmations. Sorry, every now and then my DNA squashes my vowels. When we're asking from somebody save me energy, and these are subtle realms, you will not often be conscious that your secret hope is that someone will come just make it all better, right? We want a divine beloved to come put a Band-Aid on us and give us a boo-boo bunny for our bumps and bruises. Did y'all have boo-boo bunnies? Little wash rag with ears and rubber bands. You stick a piece of ice in it so that the kid feels a little better about having an ice pack. I haven't seen those around in a long time. Anyway, when we're doing that, it doesn't work because our souls know we can do better. Our soul growth is not to go out and mix it up with life and then be rescued and plucked out of our consequences. It doesn't work like that. In the Hunger Games, I know this sounds like a tangent, but I will circle back. In the Hunger Games, the books make it more clear. The movies are great. I love them, but the books are better, of course. They always are. Katniss is not saved from things that her guide, Haymitch, knows that she can figure out if she just keeps trying. In those stories, sponsors help the person survive the Hunger Games. So her guide, he could be her projector, really, is observing her and knows that she's capable of figuring out the next step. So he's not going to waste a sponsorship gift on something, he knows she can figure it out. She's uncomfortable. She's miserable. He can see that. It sucks. But he knows that if she keeps plugging away at it, and she will, she can solve the problem. She can figure it out herself. So he keeps the rescue button in the bag for when she hits a point where she can't figure it out, where he can see that she does have to have divine intervention, so to speak. So he saves it. So if you think about life in those terms, and not literally, of course, but just as a way of giving our minds something to grab onto, we're Katniss, and there's a lot that we can figure out if we just keep trying, if we don't give up, if we don't stay lost in our familiar bad feeling, if we don't go take up residence in pity party land. There's solutions to every problem. If we're asking questions, we will get the answers. We will. It might take a little bit of time, but we will be delivered. That's what gets given to you, is the next answer, the next step that you take, and then keep problem solving and keep achieving and feeling and working with your nervous system. Primary, very, very important to start educating yourself on the nervous system and how your body is reacting to things. It's less about your mindset, more about your nerves. Your nerves are dictating your mindset, not the other way around. That's a subject for a different day. However, insert commercial here. Less Hustle, More Human Design will be going over how your nervous system prevents you from posting, from getting your website done. It drives procrastination to stay safe. So we will be going over that. That starts January 5th. It's on the website. Y'all know where that is. ThatMichelleWolf.com. Less Hustle, More Human Designs right there at the top. End commercial. When you see through your daily practice and through your asking of questions and through your picking a word for the year, when you start to see and feel how you're reacting in the moment to things, how your nervous system is driving you to stay put in your familiar bad feeling place, how your team invisible is right there helping you, but they know you can solve this problem. And when you're a therapist or a coach, if you solve your clients' problems and go into advice giving, you're doing them and yourself a huge disservice. We don't pay attention to stuff unless we solve it ourselves. We got to have our own insight. And our guides, if you're a therapist or a coach or a helper, you are the guide, and you're not supposed to give your clients the answers. That's what books are for. They give you the answers. But when you're working with someone, you need to lead people to a space where they get their own answers. This requires that you set your ego aside and not jump in and give the answer that you know is right there. It's horrible. It's truly, truly horrible to see someone so close to the breakthrough and not be able to just hand it to them like a piece of candy. Like, here, just take it. Because it won't last. If you do that, they'll have an insight, and it'll last about 5 minutes after you hang up the phone or they walk out of your office. Our guides do the same thing. They're not withholding stuff from us as a punishment. They're not causing us to wander off into horrible circumstances because we've been bad or we need to learn a lesson. Don't get me started on that. Life happens and they're right there with us. So ask whatever you perceive as the universe or your team invisible or whatever. Ask to be shown the way. Don't ask to be rescued. It's a waste of time. It keeps you in this disempowered, pathetic place. I know it. I can talk about it all day long because I've lived in that pathetic place for so long. Pity Party Land is my favorite place. That's my familiar bad feeling place. I can't figure it out. Everything is horrible. I'm a mess. My life is shit. You know, I could go on and on. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. But I closed Pity Party Land a few years ago, and sometimes I really regret it. I really would like to go spend the day there. It's disempowering to pray for save me. And if you're unconsciously praying from a save me energy, it doesn't work. And it's not that you're doing it wrong or that no one, well, technically, I guess we are kind of doing it wrong. It's just we're all little dumb babies sometimes in our lives. We just don't see it. And that's okay because we're just in a little dumb baby moment. And that's all right. So we can ask to come out of that. We can say to ourselves and in our journals and in our prayers, I can't see where I'm going. I know something is up. I know I want this and I don't seem to be able to get there. Show me the way. I've made a big mess over here. I don't know how to clean it up. Show me the way. Don't save me from it. Don't hope that some relationship's going to come along and take care of it for you, or that, an angel's going to show up in your bedroom one night and tell you exactly how to fix your finances. Pray to understand your own finances. Pray to be led to the teachers and the books and the courses that really will help you. And I'll tell you right now, if it says 6 or 7 figure in the title, don't even bother. We'll just run the other direction and unfollow that page. Don't listen to that. Ask to be shown the next step, the next thing you need to say to yourself, the next memory that needs unraveled, the next genetic heritage that you need to feel in through your body so that you can achieve resolution on the other side, so you can set 50 generations of your family free. It's empowering energy to say, situation X is right here in front of me. Help me find the way. Show me the way to the solution so that I learn and I know and I become more masterful at navigating life. I become less inclined to stay in flop or freeze energy or fight energy. I feel it happening so I can make a different choice. You wake up a little more every day and say, every time I think about that, my energy tanks. That's not an emotional vampire in your midst. That's a nervous system thing that you learn to survive. It's not working for you anymore. You don't have to get further and further isolated. You don't have to protect yourself. You need strength training. You need to know how to navigate discomfort. You need to know how to sit with discomfort and not escape, not eat a bunch of sugar or watch too much TV or fall asleep with your cell phone in your hand or shoot something up in your arm or go to too many drug events. Awareness is key. And we spend a whole lot of time and energy making sure that we're not aware. And we pray a lot of praise. We pray a lot of praise. We pray a lot of prayers. I need some more coffee. Wanting to not feel like, just save me from the pain. Just give me the pill. Nothing wrong with pills, prescriptions for your mental health or your body, whatever you need. I'm not anti-medication. But when we're using it as a way to stay in our baby self, it doesn't work. And then you start to feel bad, like you're somehow broken or defective, that you're doing these things that people tell you to do, and they don't work. And you're just slightly off the rails. You know, you're not in the groove because you haven't made a decision that you don't want to be saved. Well, you do want to. Who doesn't want to be saved? I do. Everybody wants to be saved from their shit. Of course we want to be saved, but that's not what we're here doing. We're not here to be rescued. We're here to expand and grow and gather experiences. We don't gather very many experiences if you start isolating because you think people are sucking up all your energy or some of the nonsense that's out there. If you're not uncomfortable at least a few times a week, you're not growing. It's just Discomfort's part of it. Pain's part of it. Make friends with that. Learn your own strength and ability. And if you don't feel like you have much, grow your strength and ability to handle the discomfort of growth. I've had people come into my programs and then say they didn't get anything out of it because when things got rough, they checked out. They might have still attended, but their absence was notable. And some people come to the programs and they don't change because when it gets uncomfortable, they stop. That's okay. We all do that. But at some point, someday, you have to say, I don't want to be rescued. I want to learn. I don't want you to save me. Nothing makes me more mad than when I'm trying to figure something out and somebody intervenes and gives me the answer. It's like telling me the ending of a great book. Like, well, fuck. I don't even want to read it now because now I know the ending. You just ruined it. I like the problem. I like figuring it out myself. I like nailing the boards together, figuring out I did it wrong, having to take it all apart and do it again. I like learning. And learning is periodically uncomfortable. So how do you do that? You start telling yourself that on the most micro level. You look at the micro decisions you make all day long about what you're putting up with, about what you're letting yourself get away with. I know I've said this before, but My 600-Pound Life is the best teaching platform on the planet to show you how clever the mind is at keeping us stuck and lying to ourselves and others with so much, what's the word? So much, like we really believe it. We don't think we're telling a lie. When those people tell Dr. Now they've been doing everything and they have not, the cameras show that they're not doing everything, but they really believe it. And we really believe that we're doing everything. And most of the time we're not. We're not. We're just little liars. Little liars and dumb babies. Babies are supposed to be dumb, but we're not babies anymore. We should be grown-ups, or at least trying to be grown-ups. So look in your life and at your goals and what you're trying to accomplish. Notice if there's any victim thinking under there. That if I just do this, and I'll be saved. If I just take this course, I'll be saved. If I just blah, 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 woof, 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 I'll be saved. It'll all be better. And then I'll go, dancing through life, never ever uncomfortable again. The worst fairy tale in the world. And they lived happily ever after. Liar! Not true. They lived happily ever after for 5 minutes and then got into an argument and had to grow again. The end. Just put that on repeat. All right, look at that stuff and ask yourself, where can I be more co-creative, which means I stand on my own 2 feet and I say, show me the way. I look forward to learning. I maybe don't love being uncomfortable, but I also don't avoid it. I step into it and go, yep, my word for the year was boundaries, and here we go. Oh gosh, here's this thing. Oh, that matches. This is what's in the way of me living my word for the year. Okay, here we go. Help me. Give me the courage to keep going. Show me the next step. Not save me. I don't want this. This is terrible. I can't believe this has happened to me after all my work. Boop, 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 boop. Don't save me. Show me. Don't lead me. Help me learn. God is not your parent. The universe is not a vending machine. There are no steps or magic formulas. There's no piece of your human design. There's no gate, no planet, no astrology, no nothing that will save you from the pain of expansion. When you accept that and ask to be stronger, ask to have more courage, ask to have more tenacity, recognize your familiar bad feeling place, and then decide not to stay there, feel the strength in that. There's nothing you can't do. There's no word that you could pick for the year that will knock you down and keep you down if you're willing to go through the discomfort and not give up on yourself. And your team is right there. Right there. Every single second of every breath you take, you are held and supported and surrounded by cheerleaders, by your hey Mitch, who's like, she's right there. He's right there. It's getting closer. Oh my gosh. We're going to keep the rescue moments for when it's truly needed, not for now. Oh, look how uncomfortable she is. Look how mad he is. Oh, they're just about to get it. Learn and grow. Seek awareness. Look at where you're numbing out. Look at what you're letting yourself do to stay stuck. Stop blaming other people and circumstances and books and teachers and authors and blah, blah, blah. Understand that every single person on the planet's doing it, or has done it, or will do it. You're not alone in this. Every human, why do you think we love, well, I don't know if you love Shakespeare. Actually, that's a bad example because a lot of people don't, but I love Shakespeare. And the Bible, and the Bhagavad Gita that I can never pronounce, the Gita thing, the Upanishads. We're all doing, there's no story that's new. We're humans and we do these things and it's super predictable and it's pretty easy way out as long as we are willing to be uncomfortable. So, don't ask the divine to save you, ask to be shown the way. The end. Love y'all so much. Till we meet again, think less, feel more. Bye.